Hello everyone, welcome to today's session of Full Stack Developer course. I hope you are able to hear me and able to see the screen, confirming the live chat once. Okay, so let us start today's session here. Basically, yesterday we discussed about yes, good morning everyone. So in the last session we discussed about HTML, class ID, iframe, and JavaScript, right? Now today we'll be proceeding ahead and we'll dig more deeper into the JavaScript as well as few other topics. So let us start our XAMPP and let us start our atom. So just wait for a moment. Okay, so first let us do few more example in JavaScript. Now in the last session, I explained about two kinds of JavaScript which you can use. One is with the help of script tag, other one with the help of the inline JavaScript, right? So let me start the XAMPP here. Okay, now let us open the local host here. Just wait. And now let us open our atom. Just wait. Kindly wait for a few minutes. Okay, so in this particular source code, you can see the JavaScript which we have used is in a button, right? So button type equal to button on click, and this is the JavaScript. Document.get element by ID demo. We are finding the element ID demo, which is ID equal to demo, and in inner HTML we are printing the date. So whatever input we need to print here will be the date. Now the date is the JavaScript element, which is default by default it is defined in HTML in JavaScript. We don't have to program the date function here and the button text. Now there is one more way to trigger this, that on click we can give the function name. Like function name means, like suppose, let me create the other one. So here I will be creating one script. Okay, now in this script I will be defining a function, or even without defining the function I can do this. If you don't want to call the function, you can, if you want simply to uh, trigger it on the page load, then also you can do this. Let me show you how we can do this. Let me remove the button from here. Okay, now say that there is nothing in the paragraph tag, you can see it's blank, right? Now I'm creating a script here where I will give instructions to add a HTML in the paragraph. So same thing I can do in here. Instead of inline in button, I can do this here. So document dot get element by ID. The ID is demo. Sorry, demo dot inner HTML, right? And that is, suppose, hello JavaScript. Done. And the script is now closed. Now once we save this page, once we load this page, this script will be automatically triggered. Why? Because this script is not having any function name, and we are not also defining in this particular script on a button click. It will automatically trigger because there is no trigger function defined here. When the page will load, this particular code block will automatically execute. No need of triggering anything. Okay, so in the paragraph there is nothing mentioned here. Once the page will load, this script will make sure that hello JavaScript will be inserted here. Now why this JavaScript is used generally? As I told you, there are two types of website. One is static website, other is dynamic website, right? So static website you cannot interact with. It's a kind of static things, right? School website, college website, university website, business website, they all have static content. Dynamic means you can interact with the website, like Facebook, Google, search engine, whatever you enter in the search box, it will give you the result of that. Twitter, Instagram. So all these are dynamic website. So how dynamic websites are created? Based on your input, they give you response. And for that, JavaScript is very, very important. Okay. So this is how we use JavaScript. Now let us load this page, open this page. So it was HTML and JavaScript. So you can see hello JavaScript is automatically being printed here. The script is automatically loading. If I right click and inspect here, what you will see, hello JavaScript is automatically inserted here, but in here there's nothing in here, right? But the JavaScript is working and it's now inserting the particular text in the paragraph ID demo. This is how we use the JavaScript. Let me show you a few more example of JavaScript here. So JavaScript is not only used to change the text. JavaScript is very, very advanced. With the help of JavaScript, we can change the design also, not only text. With the JavaScript, we can uh, load images also. Okay, with JavaScript, we can do a lot of things. Okay, let me show you one more example with changing some kind of style. So let us leave this as it is, this text, okay, and document. Remember, whatever we do in here, like it is not runtime, this is a runtime. Okay, JavaScript is used for runtime also. When it will run, then it will execute, not by default. Suppose if I enter something in paragraph here before only, and when I load the page, it will not be termed as runtime. Runtime means when the web page will load, then the JavaScript will be triggered, and at that time the results will be mentioned in the particular tag. Okay, so this is a runtime kind of thing. So get element by ID, obviously demo. Okay, now let us style something in here. So I will be using style element either. Okay, and let me define first of all font size. Okay, so I'm defining font size. So in the font size, I will be giving it as 25 pixel. So yes, in the runtime, we can also define the font size also. So let me reload it. So you can see the text size is increased. Let me change the color. So document dot get element by ID demo dot style dot next thing, let us do color. Let us define it as red. Okay, reload this. What you see, the color is now changed. Just like that, you can define any style you want. You can give the borders, you can give margin, you can give padding or any kind of style, but in the runtime. Okay, not by default. Sometimes what happens, we need to show results based on different users. Okay, something different results to different user, some different result to different user. Maybe if someone is coming from India, show them different results. If someone is coming from USA, show them different results. That's why JavaScript is used for these kind of things. Okay, for dynamic creation, the for creation of dynamic websites. So I hope you got the JavaScript here. Now JavaScript is not end, we'll be looking into more JavaScript after the HTML will finish out. Okay, so this is the JavaScript. Now let's proceed further to the next topic. Okay, now we'll discuss about responsiveness. Okay, now what is responsiveness basically? Now you can notice whatever website you open, say that if I open google.com or any website, if it is able to be responsive even in mobile phone and all, it will be simply take size of the particular screen. Like if I reduce the screen, as you can see, Google is shrinking, right? This is known as responsiveness. Okay, now basically, you know that there are crores of users on internet, and they use multiple devices to browse the internet. Someone uses a mobile phone, some uses a tablet, some uses a laptop, some desktop, like these. Okay, now we cannot create different website versions for different mobile screens. That's why responsiveness is very important. Now in HTML also responsiveness is possible. Okay, but to use some advanced responsiveness, we use Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is an open source, this one by Google, by Twitter. Okay, so first Twitter developed this Bootstrap. Okay, a kind of front end framework. So Bootstrap is a free and open source CSS framework directed at responsive mobile first front end web development. It contains CSS and JavaScript based design templates. Okay, so it was developed by uh, Twitter. Okay, and this is very useful. Basically, we know we need to use CSS to design a website, right? Next topic will be starting CSS only. The CSS is used to design a website, but still a lot of things are there which we need to use as advanced. That's why we use Bootstrap. So I'll explain this one later on. Right now, for responsiveness, we are having a feature in HTML. Okay, so how to do in HTML and all? So basically, first setting is about viewport. To create a website, responsive website, we need to add a meta tag so that we can inform the browser that it is responsive. That is meta. So in the first session, I explained you about meta keywords, right? Meta descriptions, right? So now meta name equal to viewport. So this will set a viewport of your page, okay, which will give the browser instructions on how to control the page dimension and scaling to make the page responsive. Content with equal to device with equal to device with. So I'm giving here that the width must be equal to device width, which means mobile screen, laptop, desktop, or whatever device the user is using. Okay, and then initial scale equal to 1.2. So this is the meta. We don't have to close this meta. Okay, this is how we use the meta name viewport here. Okay, so now let us save this. Let's see what difference it will make when we load the page. Now let us. Okay, now we are not able to see any difference here. We'll try to create a full web page, and then we'll use the responsiveness, this meta. Then we will be able to see how it is working. Okay, still, let us try one thing in here. Let us try one more thing, which is putting an image and paragraph. So it's a task for every one of you that create a web page, okay, give a heading, okay, then an image, okay, and then a paragraph of 5 to 6 lines, and then try to open in mobile phone, okay. In mobile phone it should responsive, the image must be in top, after that the paragraph must be there, and on the top the heading will be there, okay. This is a task for every one of you. Try this after the class will end. So this is the HTML responsive feature, which is viewport, okay. Now images. So basically image is the most important part of the web page because we need to make sure the images are responsive, okay. Let me open the image file here. So what was the image file? Look, we don't have any image file in here. Let us create an image file, okay. We'll create a new file. Okay, so this is the file. Now first thing I will do is I need to use some images. So I will be needing some image here. Just wait. Let us find any image here. We don't have to download it, okay. We can use the image address also because internet is already working, so you don't have to download it. So img src, this image tag you already know about, and then the location of the image, okay. This is the location of the image, and then close. Now let us load this particular page, responsive.html, okay. What you see, like it's a kind of image which took whole page, right. It took the size of the whole page. Now let me put something here, like which is style. You all know about how to use a style. So style. Now I will define width here. We don't have to define height, just define width, okay. So suppose 500, like this, and that's it. Now let us load the page. What you see, the size is now decreased and it's now 500 pixels. Now try to minimize this. See what happens. Is the image shrinking? No. Let me increase the size of the image so that you can see better. You can see it's not shrinking, right? The image is cropped. When someone will load this image in mobile phone, a horizontal scroll will create. This is the horizontal scroll. You can see this particular line here. This is the horizontal scroll. This is the horizontal scroll. Now, responsiveness makes sure that this image must load in the mobile also based on the screen size. So instead of using these numbers, just use percentage. For example, 100%. It means that it will not take any specific size, but will take a specific percentage of the web page, whatever the screen size is there. Now, what you see, it is fixed now. When we increase, it will increase. When we decrease, it will decrease. Increasing and decreasing. Now, the image will be able to open in the mobile phone also, or in the laptop tab or anywhere based on the screen size. We don't have to define anything pixels in here, just percentage is fine. Now once we maximize it, what you see, it's taking 100% of the screen, which means whatever screen size it's there, pick 100% of that. Okay, if you don't want to pick 100%, we can define 30% also, or 40% also, like this. It depends on you. Now once we refresh it, what you see, it's now 40%. So you can see when we increase, it increases. When we decrease, it decreases. Okay, and the final size will be like this only. Got it? So this percentage in the image is very useful in making a web page responsive. So the first thing was to use the meta name, viewport, contain with device with initial scale 1, and then this image. Okay, this is the responsive initial step which we need to use. Then we do have lots of other options also in responsive, like defining a max width, defining a minimum width, defining a maximum height, defining a minimum height. So all these things will be understanding when we start the responsive topic. It's a separate topic which we'll be learning in this course. Okay, so we need to deal with responsive text also, font size also, responsive media also, like how to right now we are able to do this in image. What about the divisions? What about the headers, footers, navigations? How to do those responsive? So there are lots of steps which will be performing in here for the responsiveness. Okay. Okay, so HTML form we already completed, right? Uh, I will be again explaining you about the HTML forms by creating a full-fledged contact form here. Okay, so let me start the HTML form here, and after that we'll be seeing the few other examples. That's it. Okay, that is the last topic in HTML, and today our HTML will finish. Then we'll start the next topic. Okay, so the next one is HTML form. Let us copy this new file. Okay, so let us start creating our form. So you all already know about how to create a form, right? Because I already explained in the session. But input type, radio, checkbox, file select, these things were pending. So these we need to complete today itself. Okay. So let me show you one example of a normal HTML form here. Okay. So just focus in here. I'm using H2 to define the title. So that is HTML form. H2 close. After that, form. Now remember, when we submit a form, we need to give an action here. Action means once we submit a form, what to do, how to process it. We need to create a PHP page for that. So which will be learning in the PHP this one topic. But let me mention it here. Action PHP. Now, once the page will be submitted, once the form will be submitted, a PHP script will be triggered in which the instructions will be there that what to do with the data. Okay, so the form will be closing. Okay, and now label. So if you remember, last time I discussed about label, so that we can define a label for a particular input box, right? We created an input box and then we defined the ID for the input box and the name for the input box and the label. So label for, okay, first we'll leave it as blank and the label will define as first name and then close label. Okay, and then a line break. In the next line, I will be creating an input box. Input type equal to will be text because I'm asking for name, so it will be text. Then ID. So ID you all know, right? ID is used to define something unique, right? F name is unique, first name, and then define name. Name is used to process it in the PHP page. Without name, we cannot uniquely identify it. We can use ID also, but still name is important. Okay, and then value. Now by default, we can set a value. Okay, or instead of that, use a placeholder. Enter first name and then a line break. Okay, so you can see the name I defined here is first name, ID first name. So in for, what will go? First name. So first label is completed. Now second label. For, leave it blank, and the last name. Okay, and then input type, same thing will be text, ID equal to L name, last name equal to again last name, and instead of value we'll give it as placeholder, which will be enter last name, and give a line break 2 times so that we can give some space. Okay, it means in the for it will be L name, and then the button to submit. So input type equal to submit and value equal to submit. That's it. Form is now closed. No, so here we defined a form tag. We closed the form tag. We defined the action equal to action.php, which means the page which will handle the page when the form will be submitted. Then we defined a label. A label is used to define some text above the input box. And then we defined a for which label it is, so that it must not mix with this label and this label, or this input or this input. When we define the input type equal to text, we define uniqueness with the help of fname and the name equal to fname and a placeholder. Same in this case also. So a particular form is created. Let us try to run this. What you see, a form is created. First name and last name, right? We can enter the details, right? And we can click on submit button. Right now, nothing will happen because action.php page is not available, right? You can see action.php page here. This page is not available yet because we have not created it. When we create it, it will be able to process our form. Now this is how we create a form. Now let us add a few more things. So input text, input type equal to text is clear, right? Now let us see a few more examples like radio, checkbox, okay, and lots of other things. So let us see. The radio buttons, okay. So in here only we'll see that no need to create a separate page for the radio button. So here also we'll be using same thing, label, but in this, the first thing is we need to define the input type, okay, and then we need to define the label. So the form is already created. Let us define the input. So input type equal to radio. Now, radio is used generally for asking for gender, male, female, others like that, which in which we can only select one option, right? Out of 4 to 5, one option we can select. You may have also given some online exams also for MCQs. In that also the same case is there, right? Okay. Uh, Everyone, my voice is clear right now, correct? Kindly confirm in the live chat. Okay, got it. Okay, so proceeding further, input type equal to radio, ID will define it as anything, something unique. It is defined HTML, okay, and we'll define it as name. So name will define it as uh, favorite. Suppose let us say as gender only. Okay, we'll ask for male, female, others. Okay, gender, and the value will define it as by default what value should be here. So by default, suppose male will be selected, okay, or female, or any value. So by default, male will be selected. Now we'll define the label. Label for what? For defining the options, right? Options menus. So let us define the label. So label for. So first thing, the first option we should give is the male. Okay. Define the option name here, male. We'll close the label, right? And we'll give a line break. Okay. And here for that we create one more input. Type equal to radio, ID equal to uh, not HTML, will give it as male here, sorry, male, and after that female, name equal to gender, because the name will be same for all because only one options we can select, right? So female, then we'll define the label of that. For female, value will be female, label close, line break. Okay, now male done, female done. Next, let us create others. So input type equal to, sorry, radio, and id equal to others, name also equal to others. Okay, and value by default it is others. Okay, so once someone will select this, we cannot enter value as input box, right? So in input box, what we can do, we need to enter the value manually. But in the radio, we need to select the button. So once we select what value to send to the backend database, that we need to mention in the value section. So value others, and then the label. So label for others close, will define it as others. I will close it, and will give 2 line breaks, and we'll remove the line break from here. Okay, now the radio is done. Let us now go here. Okay, one more thing is left out, that is the title here. We need to ask choose gender. This is required. Now let us load this page. So what you see, choose gender, male, female, others. I can select male, female, other. Okay, something is wrong here. When we load this, male or female, one thing we are selecting, but others is getting selected by default also. So we need to check whether we've made some mistake or not. Okay, so you also can look into the mistake, what we did mistake in here, and you can suggest in the live chat. Okay, others is gender. Okay, got it. So now refresh, and then we can see that it is now working, right? Only one thing we can select at one time. Okay, this is how we create a radio button, like first name, last name, gender. We can use the radio buttons, right? Now what you see when we right click here and we go to inspect, when we select the particular option, what data will be sent in the database? This value. Okay, this value, this is the text which will be sent to the server. You can enter it here at 1, 2, 3 also, or whatever you are using to define the actual value. This is how we do the radio buttons. Now let us see the other things like uh, the checkbox and all. So let us see that checkbox. Now checkbox is used for multiple selections. Multiple selection means, suppose you need to select more than one thing. Okay, so suppose we are using this radio button, we can select only one thing at one time, right? Suppose we need to select multiple things, like suppose multiple options. Questions like, what do you own? I own a bike, I own a car, I own a boat, I own a plane. What if you want to select everything? That case we use the checkbox. Now everything will be same as this only. Okay, there's no difference. Just we need to use the input type equal to checkbox instead of what the radio. So we'll use this paragraph. Okay, select your language. Let me give an option here that select your language, whatever language you know, English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, whatever it is there. Okay. So we'll start from the input. So basically input type equal to checkbox. Okay. We'll define it as ID, one ID. Okay. So first we define ID as something unique we need here. In this case, also it was unique, right? Male, female, others like this. Here also we need to define something unique. So in the ID, let us define it as uh, option 1, option 2, option 3 will define like this only. Okay. So ID name equal to also option 1. Okay. And value equal to English. So first value should be English. Done. We'll define a label for that. For. So it'll be here option 1 for option 1. And here in the label, I will define it as I know English. Label close and a line break. Second input, I'm giving some space so that you must not be confused. Next, type equal to obviously checkbox. ID equal to option 2. Name equal to option 2. Value equal to Hindi. Okay. Label for option 2. I know Hindi. Okay. Then a line break. One more input, last option, input type equal to checkbox. Okay. ID equal to option 3. Name also option 3. And value will give it as any language. Let us say Gujarati. Okay. Then we'll label for that for option 3. I know Gujarati. And 2 line breaks. That is it. Now let us try to refresh the page and load this. So what you see, select your language box is now visible here. So we can select I know English, I know Hindi, I know Gujarati. Okay, this is the checkbox. Yes, we can also make this one also unique. In this case, what we just need to do is we just need to define the name as a unique. You can see the name we are defining it here every time different. Option 1, option 2, option 3. But here it was gender, 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 which means only one will work. But in this case, also we can do this similar thing, and in this case also only one will work. But checkbox is not used for that purpose. So checkbox is like this. Even if I click on I know Hindi, I know Gujarati, it will work. Okay. Even if I click on others, it will work. Even if I click on female, it will work. In female, it's not working. Maybe something we left in the label. That is why label is used for. Let me see what mistake I did here. Label for female. Anyone able to notice the mistake here? Why the label is not working in the case of female? When we click on others, it needs to work, and in the female, for equal to, okay, yes, okay. Now let us load this, and then when I click on the female, it's working. So this is how label is used for. Okay, suppose if we don't use the label, suppose if I remove the label from here, what will happen? For a second, let us remove the label. For the mail, I removed it. Once you can see the label is not visible here, so let us do one thing. Leave this one as it is and remove the for here. Okay, now let us load this. You can see when I click on male, nothing will happen, but if I click on female and others, it's working, but not on male. Okay, so this is why we use label for. Okay, it defines the link between the label and the input, so that when we click on female or other any other label options, the checkbox or the radio box will be triggered out. Okay, even if I click on first name, you can see the input box is highlighting, which means it is mentioning the cursor in there. Okay, so proceeding further, radio button is done, checkbox is done. Let us proceed further then. Okay, this is it for now. We'll see the files also. How to select a file, we'll see that. Just wait. There are a lot of things we need to discuss in the HTML forms, like autocomplete, not autocomplete. Like if I click here, you can see the autocomplete option is coming here. What if you want to disable this autocomplete? Basically, on bank websites and all, autocomplete is disabled. So we can disable the autocomplete also. Okay. So let us see the file upload particular element. So uploading the file. Okay. Yeah, file. So proceeding further, defining a file. So we'll just go in here, define file. So P select file. Okay. So here input, just wait. First we'll define the label. So label for name it anything, my file, select a file, label, input, type equal to file, id equal to my file, because the id we used in here, right? Here, name equal to also my file. And then we can define a lot of things, like what format needs to be selected, what must be blocked. Like if you want to only select the php sorry html images, documents, pdfs, those things also we can define in here. We need to give a line break. And now you can see that, okay, select file is already in the label. So let us remove this, no need of this thing. Okay, line break. Okay, you can see here select the file option, no file chosen. Let us click on choose file. We'll open like this. Okay, open. You can see it is now selected the particular file. If you want to change, you can simply change also like this. And when we submit it, it will be submitting the whole file also. I will share the list of the HTML input types, which includes month, date, numbers, emails, okay, hidden, okay, colors, buttons, lot of things are there in the input type. I will share a list of input type, okay. One user was asking what about yesterday's video. Yesterday's video is already uploaded, it's not pending. Regarding the code, I already explained in the group also that we upload code with 1 day of gap, okay. So the code will be uploaded today only, okay. So after the completion of today's session, I will upload today's class along with the tags of HTML inputs, and the source code will be uploaded tomorrow. Okay. So as a task, everyone, I already gave you one task. Okay. Second task is to create an HTML form. In the HTML form, uh, create two forms. One is a registration form, other login form. In the registration or sign up form, ask for all the details like name, first name, last name, gender, okay, date of birth, phone number, email address, city, country, state, and a submit button, and name it as sign up. Second, create a login page asking for username and password and a login button. So everyone will be able to create this page. Let me know. I think this task is very easy. So confirm in the live chat if you'll be able to create the page or not. Sign up page and login page. The same page we will use when we create a website and project. We'll be creating a clone of Facebook. Okay. So in that we'll be using the same form. No need of submitting it right now. Okay. Repeat the task. A task is this one. It's clear, right? The previous task is uh, this one, the responsive task. Create a responsive page. Okay. Add an image, add a title like h2 h3, add a paragraph, and test it. When you minimize it or when you open your mobile phone, the content is opening in your mobile phone or not, like the screen size. Okay, that is the first task, and the form is the second task. Got it now, everyone? Okay, so a lot of you still asking for the number here for discussion and all. So I already asked you all to send message on Telegram. Let me mention the number again. Telegram for support for from me. Okay, this is a Telegram number of my. You can just simply message here for questions related to these things if you face any issues while programming. And on the same WhatsApp is for other kind of supports. Okay, something else, not regarding the classes and all technical things. Can we use style equal to ratio? Ratio? I don't get it what you're asking. Okay, this is it, everyone. So just try to complete your task, and we'll again meet in the next session. That is it for today's class, everyone. Thank you for being patient. You can now leave the class and have a good day ahead. Bye bye, everyone. You can now leave.